My name is Rume Shameje, and I want to welcome you to Jtl Farms. Our farm here, Jtl Snail Farm. Here we breed the giant African snails, Achatina, and Achatina marginata. These snails are the biggest land snails in the world, and they are native to West Africa, especially Nigeria. Now, I'm speaking to you from Benin City, Edo State, Ovia Northeast local government to be precise, where our farm is. And here, like I said, we bring the giant African snails, Achatina, and Achatina marginata. So let me show you these snails we are talking about. But before I do that, if you look at the background, if you look at the farm we are looking at, this is quite a big farm, snail farm. We have over 100 snail pens here. And each pen, depending on the size of the pen, can take up to 200 adult snails, between 150 to 200 adult snails. And we have about 4 segments here. We have the giant Achatina, we have the giant Achatina marginata, we have the point of lay snails, then we have the hatchery, where we hatch the eggs and the baby snails. Now, like I was saying before, now if you look at the environment behind me, it is quite leafy. You can say eco-friendly. That is because this is the kind of environment that snails strive in. Quality breed snails thrive in this kind of environment. They like a cool environment. They don't like direct sunlight. So we have taken the time to plant trees that will serve as shade to them. They like a very cool environment. They like a very conducive environment for them to grow. Okay, now to come along with me and let me show you these snails. You see, like you can see, these are the giant African snails, Achatina. This snail, like I've told you, is native to West Africa, Nigeria, and we are in Benin City, Edo State. This snail can produce between 15 to 25 eggs, just breeding. Now, before we go to that, let me talk about snails. Now, these snails, they are hermaphrodites. That means they possess both male and female reproductive organs. But they still need to mate before they can fertilize their eggs. So when they mate, in a couple of days, they'll lay their eggs. Now, when they lay their eggs, what they basically do is they dig the ground and lay their eggs beneath the ground. And those eggs, in a couple of days, let's say weeks, between 6 to 8 weeks, these eggs will hatch into young baby snails. Now these snails, they are basically vegetarians. They eat anything vegetable. They eat cassava leaf, pawpaw leaf, ugu leaf. They eat cucumber. They will eat your plantain leaves. They eat mango. They eat pear. Then, of course, their favorite food is watermelon, which is what we have here in the pen. They love watermelon. They will devour watermelon within minutes if you give it to them. Now, this food, considering the kind of food they eat, that helped us to now come up with the idea, because their budget for feeding is basically very low. You don't spend much for feeding them. Everything you need to feed the snail is right in your backyard, or you just walk into the bush and cut. So here basically at Jtl Snail Farms, we have planted basically almost everything these snails need as feeds, and it has crashed our budget for feeding them. So basically here we have the orange trees, we have the plantain, we have ugu leaves, we have cocoyam leaves, we have the pawpaw leaves here. These are basically the feeds, the things that snails feed on. We have done this so that our budget for feeding them is almost zero. The only thing we spend money on basically, which we have not planted here, is the watermelon. So that we get for them, because that is their best food. They love it a lot. Now, these snails, rearing these snails is basically is simple, but it involves some techniques. Now, if you want to start, basically, you don't have to stress. Depending on what you have, you can get your budget around it and set up a snail farm. Now you will need to create pens like this. You need to create pens like this. Like I said before, we have about 100 pens here, and each of these pens contains these giant snails you see here, which we have at Jtl Farms. We have snails for supply every season of the year. 24 hours we have snails. Now, I was talking about setting up your snail farm. Now, first you need your pen, well structured like this. You can see the space. You have walkable ways so that you don't have a hindrance, moving around the pen. Then, of course, you are going to have to treat the soil first. The soil is very, very important, because that is where they get their major challenge from. And their major challenge are pests. Pests that will come and harm them and kill them. Pests like termites, ants, most of these crawling pests you find inside the soil. And of course, the soil they need is not your ordinary soil. They need a loamy soil. They need the loamy soil to strive. The loamy soil contains the calcium they need to grow their shell. It's very, very important. So you are going to have to get the loamy soil. You will treat it before you introduce it into the pen, before you introduce the snails. If you can get the loamy soil and follow this instruction, of course your farm will be perfect, your snails will strive, they will be happy, and of course they will give you good quality eggs. And of course you know that apart from selling these snails, the eggs are part of your profits. So when they lay these eggs, the eggs are quite big, quite sizable. They are big like lizard eggs, you know, depending on the snail. I will show you some now. You just come along and let me show you some of the eggs I'm talking about. Then, as I was saying, this is Jtl Farms, Snail Farm. Here we have well over 100 pens containing, each pen contains about 150 to 200 adult snails, and almost all the pens you see here are filled up with snails for supply and of course for breeding. So now let me show you some of the eggs. Like I was saying, let me show you some of the eggs. Now this is let me show you some of the eggs. Like I said before, they lay their eggs beneath the ground, and you can see this snail. See, I will not touch the egg because when you touch you contaminate, but you can see the eggs. You can see them inside the ground, you know, where they have been laid. Now when we see eggs like this, there are some they lay and they completely cover them up so we don't see. Such eggs we allow to hatch naturally beneath the soil. When it is hatched, the baby snails will come out. But when we see them like this, what we do is to scoop the eggs. We scoop them when we see them like this, and when we scoop like this, we scoop them with spoon like this, because these are freshly, these ones is just, these are freshly laid. We scoop them like this and we take them to the hatchery where we incubate them. And like I said before, when we have incubated them, we expect that between 6 to 8 weeks these eggs will hatch and they come up with baby snails. Now, why do we remove the eggs like this when we see them on the surface? You know, some people or some other people, they want to just leave them inside a pen, you know, for them to hatch even when they are on the surface. But here at Jtl Snail Farms, when we see eggs on the surface, we remove the eggs, basically because these giant snails, if you don't remove the eggs and you leave them, you know, they like to climb a lot. They climb, so once in a while they fall down. Okay, so we take these eggs to the incubator. Those are the incubator bays you are seeing. Now we put them, we incubate them there to hatch. And like I said before, we expect that between 6 to 8 weeks these eggs will hatch and baby snails will emerge. And I said we like to scoop the eggs from the surface of the soil, because if we leave them here, when these, especially the ones that they have not dug far to lay, when we leave them, these big giant snails fall down. Once in a while they fall down because they climb a lot, so you can see them, they climb all over the place. So when they fall down and the eggs are there, they fall on the eggs and break the eggs. So for this reason, any eggs we see on the surface of the soil, we scoop and take away. But the ones beneath the soil will leave, because those ones are going to hatch and the baby snails will come out. Now let me show you some baby snails, some that have been hatched and we have taken to a different pen, because we have, like I said, we have different pens here for different purposes, but they are all related to the snail. Now let me show you this pen. This pen are for baby snails, young juvenile snails that have been hatched and they are growing. So you can see them all over. There are so many. All these are basically about 4 weeks old now. After they are hatched, 4 weeks old now. You can see the sizes already. They are already quite big. You can see them. They are growing, and in another 1 year, these baby snails will get to the point where they will begin to give you eggs again. So it's a win-win situation. It's a profitable win-win situation if you have a snail farm. The snails lay these eggs, the eggs hatch into baby snails like this, and in another 1 year, basically, you have these snails again, give you eggs again. So this is one of the pens where our baby snails are. We have over 100 here, you know. They hide, they don't like the sunlight, and this is in the afternoon, so they are basically hiding under the leaves, so you won't see them. But if you come here in the night and we open this pen, this place is a beehive of baby snails all over. Okay, so let's talk about the economic benefits of owning a snail farm. The economic benefit is quite tremendous. Now, if you have a snail farm, for example, you can start with the bigger number of snails you start with, the better for you. But if you can start with, for example, 500 snails of this size, because this one with this giant adult snails starts to lay eggs for you immediately you buy them. They start to lay egg for you immediately, and I always recommend this to my customers, because these ones are a little more expensive, but they start to lay eggs for you immediately, and the eggs are basically the businessman's delight, because that is where your profit is, that is where the benefits come from. Now, if you have 500 pieces of this, for example, to start with, and each of them gives you basically about 20 to 30 eggs, laying 20 to 30 eggs every week. In 1 year, for example, not even 1 year, in 6 months, you can do the calculation, and you can imagine how many eggs you have. Now, when these eggs hatch, basically, like I said before, in about 6 to 8 weeks, baby snails come up and the cycle starts again. So if you do that, you find that basically within 1 to 2 years, you will have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of snails of different sizes. Now, each of these adult snails in the market, this giant Achatina in the market goes for basically about 800 naira, 6 to 800 naira. This one. Now, if the hoteliers will basically treat it and garnish, and you buy it for 1k. So you can imagine selling this out. You know, when you start to sell from your farm, you can imagine how much you make. Now, I would recommend snail farm to people. It's a good passive. It's a business that brings passive income, good passive income for the retirees and the elderly. This is your best bet for 1, exercise. 2, it occupies your mind, it keeps you busy. Exercising you, then it puts money in your pocket. So it's just there. Then for the entrepreneurs and the business-minded people, It's a passive form of income. It doesn't disturb your main business. You can do it as an aside. It will put money in your pocket, and of course you eat good nutritious snails. Then for the young ones who don't have a job yet, you can do this. You can do this and keep your mind busy, and so that the devil does not want to use your mind as a workshop. You do this, it will occupy you positively while you do your side hustles, and of course it will bring money into your pocket. But there's something I want to point out, and it's very, very important. To get a snail to get to this size will take you about 3 years. To get to this giant size, to get about 3 years. But before that 3 years, they would have really eggs for you. You can see how big they are. This is the forest African giant snails, Achatina. And we have them in large quantity at Jtl Farms here in Benin City. We can supply you anywhere. We just do the webbing. Now, like I was saying before, the young ones, can go into it. But what it requires, this is very important. It requires your care. It requires your attention. Your attention means you have to check the pens every day, and you clean the pens. You make them conducive for these snails to strive. You can see this is a happy snail, and this one will give you eggs uncountable. It's well fed, and of course here at Jtl Farms we feed them with only the best. You can see the watermelons here. They like this, like I said before, and this they devour. We feed them with only the best, and we breed only the best snails here. So they need care, they need attention. It's very, very important, because if you don't do this to them, if you don't give them this, they will not be happy. And if they are not happy, one, they won't give you good egg. Then two, if you don't keep the place clean and there's an infection, of course they start to die. But that's where we have them in different pens like this, so that when we begin to notice there's a problem with one pen, we isolate that pen and the snails inside that pen, so that it doesn't cross over to the other ones. So the economic benefits are truly enormous, and by the time you start to reap them, they'll make you happy. But like I said, these snails needs to be taken care of. Now there's one good thing I observed about snails when I was setting up Jtl Farms, Jtl Snail Farms. I liked the fact that the snails don't make noise. They don't emit any noise. They don't emit any smell. Unlike, for example, your chicken and all that makes a lot of noise, and maybe the neighborhood, your neighbors, they will start to notice and start to complain about the noise and the smell. Snails they don't make any noise, they don't smell. So, for example, you can have them inside your compound. You can even have them by there, and they are just there quietly, and they just grow well. So, like I said before, apart from introducing these giant African snails to you, Achatina, my farm were also into consultancy. If you need to set up a snail farm and you need expert advice, you can call us. You can call me on my number showing on the screen. But the number you can call is +234 80 33 887283. That number is both for voice call and WhatsApp. So you can WhatsApp me, you can call me in chat. The number again is +234 80 33 88 7283. If you need snails, good breed, African giant snails, Achatina, and Achatina marginata. If you need the jumbo size, we have them here. If you need a large, we have them here. If you need the point of lay snails, we have all of them here. And of course, they are quality snails, well bred, the forest snails. Okay, so let's talk about the health benefits of eating snail. Now, the snail, like I said, you can Google the health benefits. But basically, what I found out is the snail is rich in protein. It is high in selenium. It has omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for your brain and your heart. Then it is high in iron, which build your blood cells. Then for protein, for vitamin, it contains vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin B1, B6, and a lot of iron. And of course, the slime of the snail has been proven to help with high BP. But like I said, I got this from the internet, these health benefits of snails for this, and you can Google them too and appraise yourself so that you will know the wonders of snails. Apart from the meat which you eat that will give you all these health benefits I mentioned, the shell of the snail is used for ornaments. They are used for bracelets. The snail is very low in cholesterol, very, very low in cholesterol. For those who are health conscious, the snail is a perfect meat. Then the snail is 100% alkaline, which means for your overall good health, the snail is your best bet. Now, like I said before, if you want quality snails, if you are a hotelier, or you want snails for your personal consumption, or you run a fast food or a restaurant, or of course you need snails for your farm, you can call us on the number showing on your screen. And of course, I'll repeat the number is +234 80 33 88 7283. That number is for both voice call and WhatsApp. Then of course, one-on-one, you can send me an email. My email is rumesham1@gmail.com. Rume, R-O-U-M-E. Sham is SHM1@gmail.com. You can send me a mail. Let's talk. Let's talk on snail. If you need us to set up a snail farm, you call me. If you need snails, if you need point of nail snails for your farm, you call me. And of course, if you need it for your hotels, for your restaurant, for your personal consumption, you just call us. We have snails here every season of the year. We have snails here in abundance. We can supply you any quantity in Nigeria, anywhere. You will get it within 12 hours. We'll do way bills. to anywhere in Nigeria. And of course, if you are calling us outside Nigeria, we'll freight it to you, and you get it basically within 24 hours. You get it wherever you are. So I want to thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from you very, very soon. Thank you very much.